Hey, how's it, everybody? I am Mad Statter. This is Chatter with Statter. It is 5 p.m. West Coast time, 2 p.m. Hawaii time, 8 p.m. on the East Coast, and I'm thinking for our Central Time folks, it's probably about 7 p.m. Looks like we have got some folks hanging out in the Statterbox crew area waiting for the show to start. And for those of you who've been here before, you don't adjust your sets. Don't adjust your sets. I'm wearing a rainbow. It's not just your lion eyes deceiving you. That's right. For the first time, I believe, on Chatter with Statter, I'm not wearing black. I am wearing my Matsumoto's rainbow shave ice shirt. So that's where we're at today, because we're going to be talking about Hawaii. That is right. So it looks like Shaka's here. It looks like Mariana's here, waiting to find out about the Hawaii trip, which is super awesome. But before we do that, why don't we get this party started? All right, back here we are. Thanks so much for hanging out. That is right, Shock, your lion eyes. And Kitty, yes, that is the standard kitty intro. Speaking of standard kitty intros, or kitties, or whatever. Okay, so I get home from my Hawaii trip, right? I get home from my Hawaii. Vanilla. Okay, we're going to talk about this in a second. But Vanilla Coke Pepsi, why are you so sad that you literally might cry? Is it because I'm in a rainbow, a happy rainbow? Does that make you sad? Anyway, so what I was about to say is about the kitties. So I come home from my Hawaii trip, right? Unlock the door, open the door, and I hear boom, boom, boom. Oh, okay, clearly a kitty is jumping down from somewhere. Oh, what kitty is going to come greet me? Yeah. It wasn't any of my kitties. It was the stray kitty who has decided that he has adopted me. And he has decided that my towels in my bathroom, up in the bathroom cupboard, are the best place to sleep. And so he was hightailing it on out of the house as I came in. He was just like, oh, somebody's home now. I better get out. So it took me a while to find my kitties, but Stray Kitty, he made himself quite at home when I was gone. So, all right, it looks like your city, Vanilla Coke Pepsi, is having a maple syrup shortage. You're literally depressed. Oh no, that is not good. That is not good, Vanilla Coke Pepsi. I know that you like to drink that stuff by the gallon. Let's see here. It looks like E-Music is here. Thank you so much for hanging out, E-Music. And let's see here. Yeah, Vanilla Coke Pepsi, how else are you supposed to drown your sorrows? You can't chug anything else. Nope, I guess not. I mean, I suppose you could chug down some pamplemousse. Speaking of which, I did not drink any pamplemousse when I was in Hawaii because they didn't have any pamplemousse in the stores that I went to in Hawaii. But there you go. Oh, right. You, Vanilla Coke Pepsi, you drink it by the liter, not by the gallon. That's right. Vanilla Coke Pepsi, Canadian, obviously, drinks his maple syrup by the liter, not by the gallon. So, all right. So, I don't know what you guys did when I was away, but I can tell you I did lots of things while I was away. And the first thing that I did, I met up with C. Honda's cousin. Now, C. Honda, if you're familiar with this show, oftentimes shows up with when Terry and Scotland raids. C. Honda is also someone who hangs out on the Daily Pigeon Live with Andy Bumatai. And so because, we know everybody via the online-ness, I have to say, it really, the people that I did end up meeting on the island, it truly felt like we were just quick, fast friends, old friends meeting up. But never met C. Honda, certainly never met her cousin. However, C. Honda graciously hooked me up with her cousin, who is a real estate agent on Oahu. I may or may not have mentioned that I was vaguely dreaming about moving to Hawaii because I had found some condos. Now, they were leasehold condos, so that's a whole other thing that we talked about on a stream before. And so leaseholds are kind of weird, but and consequently, they, all right, I'm getting ahead of myself. I had my eye on some properties in Waikiki because they were condos that were 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom that were literally selling for like between $79,000 and $125,000. Now, that might sound like a lot of money to you guys, and it is a lot of money, but for real estate in Hawaii, that is nothing. They're like giving them away, right? Like that is dirt cheap. And so I thought to myself, well, shoot, are they getting rid of these condos because the people who own them lost their shirt over the pandemic? The people who own them had them as investment properties, but over the pandemic, they lost a bunch of money because they still had to pay the homeowners dues and they weren't getting the tourism. Wasn't really sure what the deal is. So I was very, very curious about these properties. Before I carry on with this, I want to say, hey, Rick, good to see you. Long time no see. Happy to have you in the Statterbox crew. You and Shock can be maybe wielding the sword of no mercy if necessary. Hopefully we will not need your services and you'll just get to chat along with the rest of us. So I want to tell you guys about these properties, right? I meet with C. Honda's cousin, Joy, and we have lunch in Kaka'ako at this great Japanese restaurant. By the way, there's this Japanese egg custard stuff that's like made with dashi. I don't know what it's called. I can't remember, but it's my new favorite food in the world. It is delicious. And hey there, Marmac. Good to see you. All right, we are getting the crowd coming in here. So back to the properties that were just like super cheap and totally too good to be true, right? So I'm talking to the real estate agent, and as it turns out, absolutely these condos are too good to be true. So check this out, dude. I don't know if you guys are familiar with, but a few years ago, actually probably more than a few years ago, let's just say 5 years ago, there was a fire in an older building in Waikiki. And consequently, or in this fire, a couple people ended up dying. And the reason why people ended up dying was because the building was so old that it was built before Waikiki and Oahu, Honolulu. I'm not really sure who's in charge of these standards, but they were built before sprinkler systems or fire alarm systems were required to be in buildings, multi-unit buildings, for goodness sake, right? So people died because there was a fire and there was no system in place to let other people know about it or to put the fire out. Consequently, I'm not sure if it's the state, if it's the city, what the deal is, but there's now a requirement for all the buildings, even the ones that were built before the code. They need to come up to code. They need to either get a sprinkler system or a fire alarm system or both or whatever. There's a bunch of different options that they've got, but they need to get something in their buildings. Otherwise, the buildings won't be up to code. Now, the buildings have known about this requirement for a long time now, and the time is ticking. The deadline for this to happen is 2 years. So in 2 years, these old buildings need to have a system in place. Lots of the old buildings and the homeowners associations with them, etc., they've gotten their act together. They've figured out a plan. They've decided what kind of system they're going to be doing. They've decided how the system is going to be paid for, etc., etc. Those buildings are on a roll to getting stuff done. And then there's other buildings that haven't done anything at all. So deadline, 2 years, and the homeowners associations still haven't figured out what kind of system they're going to be installing and how that system is going to be paid for. What that means is in 2 years, if it's not done, basically the building is unlivable. So the buildings that I was all looking at all happen to be buildings that don't have their act together yet. And so the reason why there are so many units in these buildings that are on the market right now is because the current owners see what is going to happen, and they know that basically the money is going to all come down to, onto them. There's no money in place within within the system to pay for these retrofit sprinkler systems, etc. So basically, they've got no plan. And what that will mean is the owners will be given a huge bill come 2 years from now when the crap hits the fan. Or, worst case scenario, those buildings will be deemed uninhabitable, and suddenly this building or this unit that you own in the building, you can't live in because you don't have a fire system. Now, Vanilla Coke Pepsi, I am right there with you. Homeowners associations are a pain in the arse. That being said, when you live in a condo or a shared co-op situation, there's always going to be a homeowners association because you all have shared responsibility for the building that your unit is in. So when you buy a condo or if you buy into an apartment complex, you're always going to have that. So that's sort of a given. That being said, I'm right there with you. When it comes to my home on my land, you don't need to be telling me that I need to be mowing my grass or what kind of flag I can fly on my house or whatever, or what color I can paint my house. And plenty homeowners associations totally do that. Totally not a fan of homeowner associations for individual homes, but they are necessary evil when you're buying into a shared building like a condo or an apartment or a co-op. So anyway, the homeowners associations for the building that I was looking at, they don't got their crap together. And so basically I would have been buying into a future nightmare. And so I was so thankful for that meeting with the real estate agent because as far as I'm concerned, that was worth the price of admission alone. So as I said to many people about Joy, the real estate agent, she's a dream killer. She is a dream killer. But I say that in the best possible way because real estate agents are meant to be dream killers. Like that, they are the reality check person. That's what you pay a real estate agent for is to be a dream killer. And so when I say that Joy is a dream killer, I mean that as the highest possible compliment. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but if you've ever gone into buying a home and with all that money that's on the line, it really is helpful to have somebody on your side who knows the dirt and who will tell you the dirt and will not lie to you about what dirt there is. And I have to say, if you are thinking about buying a home in Hawaii, especially on Oahu, I cannot emphasize enough. I will refer you to Joy if you need the referral, because she has been in the real estate industry for 24 years. And as I said, she's C. Honda's cousin. So even though I don't know C. Honda in person, I feel as though we are friends due to our online interactions, and I have a level of trust in her. I really have a level of trust with C. Honda. And so I do trust her, her cousin. She wasn't just some rando real estate agent that I picked out of the phone book or off Google. And so as Darlene says, it's really important to know what's going down and how to do it correctly too. Exactly, Darlene. I'll tell you, I've had friends who've tried to sell their house on their own. I've had friends who've tried to buy houses without agents. And to me, that is the dumbest thing in the world. It might have been a success for them. Honestly, I don't really know because I just sort of scoffed at them and just was like, you can go, you do you, boo. But for me, I know enough to know that I do not know enough. And I need somebody to help me out. And without the real estate agent that I used to buy my home, without her guidance and then the guidance of my cutthroat loan officer, I would have overpaid for this home. My real estate agent told me ways to get the owner, the seller to do this, that, and the other thing, and lower the price and do this repair and this, that. And I'm telling you, man, if you have a good real estate agent, they are worth their weight in gold. Hey, Harry, go get 'em. How are you? I am talking about some real estate agents that I worked with in Hawaii. And even though it sounds like I'm saying bad things about them, I'm actually saying super good things about them. And so let's see here. Let's see what I missed while I was babbling about the nightmare I almost bought into. Let's see here. So, let's see here. Yep, talking about how HOAs are just not the thing that I like. But then again, some folks do enjoy the security of the HOA and knowing that the HOA will, help, as Shakalak said, help protect property values. That being said, in the Pacific Northwest, the Seattle area, there's no need to protect property values. I mean, there's some houses that are literally uninhabitable that are selling for almost $1 million just due to their location. So homeowners associations keeping up property values in this area isn't exactly true, but there was a time when that was true. And let's see here. And Shock, yes, the one who saves you from error is your friend. Absolutely. And let's see here. Marmac, have an HOA, did research, very little required of mine, while they totally, on top of their obligations for maintenance, etc., lucked out. Absolutely. Some homeowners associations aren't a pain in the arse. Totally. Others are an absolute nightmare. And so every HOA is different. That being said, I probably would never buy an individual piece of property with an HOA. However, if you're, looking into condos, apartments, co-ops, an HOA is a necessary evil. I mean, it is what it is. And so, you can't get out of it. And, let's see here. And Shock is saying you have a volunteer HOA for social events, but no requirements and no nasty grams from the property manager. Okay, now that's a neat idea. A little homeowners association for like a little, neighborhood socialization and group, a neighborhood picnic, a little block party. That's cool. I can appreciate that. For sure. Let's see here. And let's see. See, okay, now Mariana is pointing out a risk that you do take in a non-HOA neighborhood. So she's saying, I know the HOAs can be a pain, but I live in a neighborhood without one, and some of these houses are just really very sketchy, and you'd rather live in an HOA. That I can appreciate that logic. I can definitely appreciate that logic. And of course, Mariana, I know that this is not fair because neighborhoods can get sketchy everywhere, but you are in Florida, right? So it's like, not only is that house sketchy, it's Florida level sketchy. Okay, I know that's not fair, but you know what reputation Florida has, right? And so, let's see here. Curiosity wants to know if you're still interested in moving to Hawaii, says eMusic. I am interested, but after this visit, it has become clear to me now is not the time. So it is still very much a goal. And I have to say, Waianae, even though, because it's way the heck out there, Waianae is like remarkably affordable. So I'm probably not going to be where I want to be, which is on the windward side. If I was going to be moving to Hawaii, I'm probably going to end up being on the leeward side, the hotter side, the drier side, just because that's the only place I can afford, man. But I won't be moving to Hawaii anytime soon. I will be staying put here, and I'm thankful to have come to that decision because ultimately there is a bit of a crossroads I'm at my house because there's some issues that I need to get fixed, like the hot water flow to my kitchen that's next to non-existent. Seriously, you guys, when I get home from work, I fill a pan with water and I put it on the stove so I have hot water because the hot water flow is so slow to my kitchen that it's actually faster to heat up water on the stove than it is to get hot water from the faucet. So I need to get that fixed. And, there's just little miscellaneous things that, and by the way, that's not a little miscellaneous thing. It's like tens of thousands of dollars to get that fixed. What I'll be doing, replacing the plumbing, basically. So there's a lot of little things that I was just like, well, am I just going to sell this house and move, or am I going to fix this house and live here? And as it turns out, I'm going to fix this house and live here, I guess. And e-music, you have to consider the cost of gas when living out in the country. Absolutely. But check this out, you guys. This is so weird. The gas in Hawaii is cheaper than the gas in Seattle. Yeah, that's right. You heard me right. You don't have to clean your ears. You heard me. The gas in Hawaii is cheaper than the gas in Seattle. Yeah, that's right. Yep, that's right. And let's see here. Vanilla Coke Pepsi, gas here makes you want to sell your car for gas money. Yeah, exactly. I can appreciate that. And let's see here. So Vanilla Coke Pepsi, you're talking about grass and whether or not it grows up there in your Canadian wilderness. Yeah, actually in the Pacific Northwest, for the most part, we've got grass in the winter because it's rainy. And then during the summer, it just dries out and nobody waters their grass here. So we just basically let it dry and turn brown. And then it comes back again in the fall when it rains again. So now granted, we've been having a lot of rain here. So right now, even though like grass is normally brown, actually grass is quite green right now because we've had nothing but rain. Let's see here. So, Marmac, you've heard Seattle gas is high. Yeah, it is. It's more expensive than Hawaii. In Hawaii, I saw gas ranging from anywhere from $5.39 a gallon to $5.59 a gallon. And in Seattle, we're hitting on $6 a gallon. $5.89, $5.99, $6. So we're a couple cents higher than Hawaii is at the moment. And let's see here. And e-music, but you sit in crawling traffic when going to and from town. Well, it's funny you should say that. I mentioned to Joy, the real estate agent, and she pointed out Hawaii has apparently even worse traffic than New York City. Which in a way doesn't really surprise me because in New York City, not a lot of people drive. It's a lot of professional drivers, i.e. taxi people, and in Hawaii, you've got a lot of people who don't live there who are behind the wheel. So that's got to create a total traffic nightmare. That being said, I said to Joy, the traffic in Hawaii isn't nearly as bad as the traffic in Seattle. Seattle only has so many places for roads to be because Seattle is on a tiny strip of land between two large bodies of water. And quite honestly, Hawaii's traffic to me, it was annoying, but it wasn't any worse than Seattle's traffic. That being said, you are right. When you're sitting in traffic, I mean, honestly, sitting in traffic is like what rich people do to show off their wealth these days, right? I mean, it's just like they're just burning money sitting there. Yeah, so I totally understand. And yes, Rick, Andy filled his one wheel the other day at 534. Yes, see, 532 I think was the lowest that I saw. 534 at the Hella station in Mililani. And I know that it was because I was the one who filmed that. So I actually videotaped that little one wheel thing with Andy because I did get to meet Andy. Didn't get a picture. Didn't occur to me to get a picture because I'm silly like that. But that one wheel video is actually, the camera work was done by yours truly. It was, of course, directed and conceived by Andy. But we did do that after we ate lunch at Zippy's. And so I was so excited to see that hit the internet. Makes me giggle. He told me the concept. It made me giggle. And then the final product just made me giggle so completely. And $4.80 for gas. Oh, man, Mariana, that's beautiful. That's just beautiful. $4.80. Oh, back in the day. I know that you guys are probably like $4.80, but you know, for up here, it's just like, that's a steal. That is a steal. And Shock, yeah, Billy V ran that spot on his show the other day. I saw that and I got all Twitter pated. I was like, ooh, I'm internet famous. And Mariana's saying you love your Prius. A couple months ago, you filled up your tank, drove about 80 miles and then home. Down 2 bars of gas. I kid you not. Amazing. Yeah, you know, Mariana, I actually, I get a, let me start over. I rented a Nissan Altima, and holy flirking snit, you guys. That thing gets gas mileage like nobody's business. You can do, like, a whole tank probably is about 470 miles, and, dude, I got my gas in Kaneohe, drove back to Honolulu, drove around Honolulu, and then drove to the airport. And it didn't need the gas. It didn't leave from full. Because you know, when you return your the thing, when you return your rental car, they want it to be full. Yeah, dude, I didn't even have to touch it up. It still hadn't left the full mark. So yeah, dude, I'm super, I never thought I would say these words, but oh my God, I'm thinking about getting a Nissan for my next car. The Nissan Altima, I was very impressed. And Rick, you're giving me an honorable haha. Excellent day. And, so let's see, it said, oh, Vanilla Coke Pepsi, since you live in the middle of nowhere, it's California levels expensive. No, actually, I don't think so, dude. I think you're like twice as California levels expensive, because aren't your prices, Vanilla Coke Pepsi, based on liters, not gallons? And it takes like what, a couple liters to make a gallon? So if you're at $6.40 a liter, and California is at like $7 for a gallon, California is still way cheaper than you. I think you're, $6.40 a liter, dude. You're way more expensive. Like, your gas is crazy expensive. Gas in Canada has always been crazy expensive. But yeah, which is why I laugh at people in the United States complaining about how expensive gas is down here. No, dude, yours isn't even California. You're like above California level. You've got every reason in the world to sell your car for gas money at this point. Which I know that makes no sense. But yeah, let's see here. So Marianne is saying, I don't know how any of this works, if this is even possible, but I wonder if they've been adding some kind of filler to gas lately. Lots of people, including myself, seem to experience gas burning at a way faster rate than normal. Or maybe it's just because it's hot and the AC is working harder. You don't know. Yeah, honestly, I can't answer that question. I do know that they do have additives to gas. I didn't think it was to... I mean, I know that they add additives to gas, but I never was under the impression it was to make things work harder or work at less efficient gas burning. Then again, I know probably a little bit less than you know, and you already said that you know nothing. So between the two of us, we know less than nothing. So, let's see here. Oh, okay, wait. Okay, so Rick is coming in with actual, knowledge, and so you are not making stuff up, it looks like. Rick is saying that we get that same problem here in Wisconsin. It's called summer reformulated gas for less pollution and less mileage. Okay. That just doesn't even... I mean, but... if you have to burn more of it to get there, are you still creating less pollution? Obviously, I don't know what I'm talking about. As I said, I'm no less than nothing. And let's see here. Vanilla Coke Pepsi. I told my story up there. They just snatch my money from my hands, count it. It's like $90 and it fills up like 20% of my tank. And the guy is like, okay, see you tomorrow. Exactly. I don't want to see you tomorrow. And yeah, maple syrup and gas shortages. Welcome to the adult world, Vanilla Coke Pepsi. Adult life sucks, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Well, okay, so we're talking about adult life and how much sucks, right? Right. All right, now we're going to go back. And now it's going to be more than just my stupid mouth running. You're going to see pictures of pretty places. That's right, you're going to see pictures of pretty places. So, first I'm going to show you a picture of Ka'ava Beach, which is the best beach ever. And I lived back in the day when I was a little kid. My very, very first memories were just a couple miles north of this beach. Look at this beach. Look at this beach. Don't you want to be on this beach too? I want to be on this beach. I want to be on this beach every day. And yeah, so this is Ka'ava Beach, and this is on the windward side. It's on the east side of the island. And this is basically the first beach that I went into the water in, because even though I was staying on Waikiki, I didn't trust the Waikiki beaches because there's so many people there, and like, it's only me. And so when I'm in the water, that means my stuff is unattended on the beach. And I just didn't feel comfortable doing that. So I didn't go to the Waikiki beach. I mean, I went there, but I didn't go like in the water. But I did go in the water here, because who would not go in the water here? How would you not go in the water here? This water is just saying, come into me right now. You want to swim, look at the sand, and then the water, and it's just beautiful. And let's see here. And Vanilla Quipsy, no orcas here. No orcas in the southern waters. Orcas generally are the northern waters. But there could be sharks. There absolutely could be sharks. And hey, G Gamba, how you doing? I'm talking about my Hawaii trip, and this is a picture of Ka'ava Beach. And Ka'ava Beach is a really beautiful beach because it's an awesome beach, as you can see. And let's see here. So, a couple miles north of this beach is where I used to live when I was a little kid. And boom, I peeked over the fence of the old house that I lived in. Now, the house that I lived in is no longer there technically, but that 2-story White House used to be a single-story duplex, and my bedroom window basically is the equivalent of, or was the equivalent of, that dark window ground level that you see right by the papaya plant. And that particular fence is a fence that is one of the first things of my memory. And there's some banana trees along this fence line. And those banana trees were used by my dad to play some tricks on some visitors. He put some stickers on the bananas that were on the tree, and he hoped that his visitors, and the visitors did, he hoped that the visitors would notice that the stickers were on the bananas on the tree. And he somehow convinced the people that the stickers grew on the bananas from the tree. And, you know, people from the mainland, they believed it. So let's see here. It looks like everybody's saying hi to Gina, which is great. Gina's coming in just in time for the memory lane videos, etc. And then let's see here. Another beach that's kind of cool. Another beach that's kind of cool that's also on the windward side is this beach here that's by the Kualoa Ranch. But this little island is locally known as Chinaman's Hat. But technically, it's actually Mokolii Island. However, I probably will always call it Chinaman's Hat because that's how I grew up knowing it. And it's only a 1/3 of a mile off the shore. And people have been known to walk there during low tide. But I've never walked there. I only swam at this beach. This also was another beach that I got into the water at because I didn't want to get into the water at Waikiki. And it looks like, did Terry raid me? Did I miss a raid? Or did Terry just hop in for funs and giggles? I'm not seeing a raid. Did I get a raid? So hey there, Terry in Scotland. So good to see you. This is, oh yeah. Thanks, mods, for putting up with, for adding some permitted terms that that Twitch might not have allowed us for. So, yeah. Marmac, Chinaman's Hat, it's such a great beach. And there weren't very many people there. And so how can you not like a beach that there weren't that many people? And eMusic, do they film a lot of movies there? I'm not at all surprised. I know that they film a lot of movies at the ranch, which was basically right across the street, because it is like a completely other era of this world. But I didn't know that they filmed at Chinaman's Hat. And, Terry in Scotland, you just popped in, started up the party bus, but nobody showed up. Oh no. So you came and raided me all by yourself. Well, thanks for hanging out. So, Michi Mama, yes, around the corner is Kualoa Ranch's secret beach. That is exactly it. This is where I met with Option. If you guys aren't familiar, Option is someone who sometimes hangs out on Chatter with Statter and sometimes hangs out, on Terry's bus and sometimes hangs out at Daily Pigeon Live. So I met with Option and his wife and his grandkid and his grandson, and we hung out at the beach, and he told me we hung out just around the corner from that secret beach. And had the tide been a little bit lower, we thought about swimming around to the secret beach, because the beach is technically everybody's land. And so even though you're not necessarily supposed to be there because they don't like you there, technically speaking, you can be there. So, yeah, apparently the Kualoa Ranch secret beach is very close to here. And we almost went there. Michi Mama, did I SUP? Did I stand up paddleboard? No, I did not. Okay. No, I did not, because the day that Michi Mama, so I got to meet Michi Mama by the whale, and it felt like meeting old friends. I met Michi Mama, I met Wild Willie, I met Carol. We all ate at the Highway Inn, and it was amazing. After we ate, Michi Mama took me all the way out, past Waianae, past Makaha, all the way out to Yokes. Despite the traditional southern swell and Yokes being an ideal surfing spot, the water was almost like glass out there. It was really weird, but we drove out there. It was awesome. Anyway, Michi Mama, I thought that day that I was getting sunburned around my eyes. I thought that maybe somehow through your car windshield and then my glasses, the sun was like amplified onto my eyes, and I thought I was getting sunburn. As it turns out, no, I was getting a chemical burn from the sunscreen that I was putting on my face, and my eyes swelled up super, super, super tiny. So I never got a chance to meet up with Option to do the stand-up paddleboarding. We were going to do that the day after I met with you guys on Saturday, but Saturday was literally a lost day for me because my eyes were swollen shut and I couldn't see, and Saturday really started out crappily, and I'm not going to get into that right now. So eMusic, you've collected limu at the beach there. Okay, I thought that seaweed was limu. There was some seaweed in the water with us, and I was asking Option, I was like, is this edible seaweed? Because quite honestly, I thought that it was limu. And he was like, I wouldn't eat it, but that doesn't mean that it wasn't edible, right? It just means he didn't know what kind of seaweed it was. So I'm glad to hear that you used to collect limu at that beach, because I honestly thought that I saw it. So there you go. Yeah, we went out to Kaena Point. Yeah, I went out both ways. I went out on the other side too, past Mokulea to that point as well. Pretty much went all the way around the island. But the Friday, one of my first days out and about, my eyes, I was playing it safe, and I was using sunscreen that's reef safe. And apparently everything except for this sunscreen actually does not kill my face. Apparently zinc has sheer zinc, and it's mineral sunscreen, and it doesn't make my face want to die, because otherwise my face wanted to die. So let's see here. And Terry in Scotland saying in Scotland right now, it's 44 degrees, expected high of 66 today. That sounds about what Seattle's got. I think was 61 was the high in Seattle today. And let's see here. Marianne is saying, compared to a lot of other states right now, it hasn't been that hot here, around 80 or 90. It's the humidity that kills you. Yeah, and Mariana, like 80 or 90 in Florida, that's normal. I mean, for Washington, that's kind of hot, but for you, that's totally normal. And Mitchie Mama's saying, there's different kinds of limu. We went to Eva Beach to harvest limu, but I don't think you can find them anymore on Oahu. Okay. And Terry in Scotland, you're saying usually it's warmer by now up there, but summer's been canceled. Yeah, I think that we're on the verge of having summer canceled here in the Pacific Northwest as well. When I was in Hawaii, all of my friends in the Seattle, Portland areas were just posting pictures of torrential downpours. I mean, not even the usual kind of rain we get. The usual kind of rain we get here in Seattle is like constant sprinkle. But like this was actual real rain. And I think that it is I think that it's just summer's not gonna happen for me and you, Terry. And Rick, hike to Kayana Point or just the parking lots? Details, my friend. Do I look like someone that would hike there? Yeah, no, just the parking lots. You got it. You called me. I didn't go all the way around the island. I just went to the parking lots. But I went to the last parking lot possible. So there you go. I went way out there, as far out there as I could go. Let's see here. And Mitchie Mama's saying, yeah, we drove to Yokohama Bay and Kayana Point would be accessible from the other side. You'd have to drive through Wailua. Okay. So let's see here. And Marmac, good info on the sunscreen. Sad I had a reaction. Oh God, yeah, it was a reaction that lasted basically until the end of my trip for the most part. Now the swelling went down, but my eyes were still totally rashy red, which is one reason why, because Andy wanted to do a couple videos and I was just like, I don't want to get on camera right now. I am really not feeling, it was just, my skin was flaky and it was all red. It was just awful. It was just awful. But I'm sort of better now. So, let's see here. Terry in Scotland. Meanwhile, France and Spain are burning up. Just like here in the US, dude. The Pacific Northwest is just like got nothing but rain and every place else looks to be on fire. And I would rather have a little bit of rain than, be on fire. I don't want to be on fire. You want to be on fire? I don't want to be on fire. And let's see here, Marmac, you're going to a wedding in Northern California next weekend. Temperatures in the 90s to the 100s. Not so used to that after months of cool and rainy Northwest. No doubt, Marmac. Yeah, you've been sitting through this rainstorm that we've been getting while I was off getting a tan. Do you guys notice? I have a tan. Can you tell? I have a tan. I'm all tan and stuff. For me, I'm tan. I'm tan. And let's see here. Rick, you have been there, but you hiked all the way out. Or I can catch Photo Luke's YouTube hike out to the point. Exactly. I did already catch that. I already did catch that out to the point. Oh, Gina, nice. It was really nice in the DC area today, like mid-70s. That is good. That is super good. And Darlene, you're getting a high of 92 tomorrow, 96 on Tuesday, and high heat index, are high heat indexes with pouring buckets of rain with lightning and hail. What? Wow, and a couple tornadoes? Whoa, Darlene, you've got like all the weather, dude. Like every bit of weather Darlene has there up in Wisconsin. All of it, all of the weather. Darlene, you can tell that I have a little bit of color? Fantastic. Okay, cool. Terry in Scotland, am I 10? Yes, I feel like I'm 10. Let's see here. So yeah, let's see. All right, so that's that for that. Now let's talk about something I don't want to talk about. Oh, no, wait, let's talk about this first. Mariana, you, asked about this. Oh no. Oh, here we go. You asked about this. I did. I took this picture. I did. I went to the dumpster. I got to the dumpster. I drove up and down Gulick Avenue a couple times. I kind of like Gulick Avenue, actually. So check this out, though. So I go to the dumpster, and I take this picture, and as I'm driving away, or as I'm taking the picture, I notice that there's a bunch of local surfer dudes that are at the house kind of across the street from the dumpster. And I drive away, and I think to myself, you know, I've got a couple things in my possession right now that I don't want to fly home with. And I'll bet you those surfer dudes might actually appreciate what it is that I don't want to fly home with. So I drove around the block, and I pulled up to the surfer dudes again. And one of the surfer dudes, who seriously looked exactly like Andy Bumatai's character, Junior Boy, in All in the Ohana, sort of separated himself out from the pack to see, like, what I was slowing down for again or whatever. And so I rolled down my window, showed them what I had, and said, hey, do you know anybody who might want these? And he was like, oh, yes. And he grabbed the bag of goodies out of my hand. And so as I drove away, I got to hear his buddies and him doing a full-on 420 Chihu. They were very excited about the donation that I left them because I did not want to fly home with it. And yeah, I kind of felt like the queen of Gulick Avenue at that point. So that was kind of fun, actually. I giggled as I drove away. So I have a happy aura about me. Must be that Hawaii vacation. Well, you know, eMusic, there is a little bit of truth to that, I guess, but there's also some serious sadness to the Hawaii vacation. And I guess we'll get into the serious sadness. So this is what happened to my gimbal and my phone when I tried to film the Cam Day parade. And as you can see, they got hurt. Yes, they definitely got hurt. So what happened to the phone and the gimbal? Like, you know, it's all messed up. All right, so I'm on the 3rd floor of the parking garage of my hotel. This is Saturday morning. My eyes are swollen shut. I can barely see through the slits of my burning, running eyes. And I'm trying to watch the parade because I'm trying to be there, man. And so I set up my gimbal, and it was on a stand because the gimbal does have a stand. And so it was standing there with the phone in it, and it was filming the parade below. And then a gust of wind came, and the top heavy gimbal went and just fell over the edge to the sidewalk below. And yeah, all I could think of was, wow, there's a parade on the street below where people are on the sidewalk standing watching the parade. And my phone comes falling out of the sky. Who did I just kill? I have to, like, swollen eyes. I didn't want to see anybody. Didn't want to deal with anybody. That's why I didn't go down to the street to watch the stupid thing. I went to the parking garage so I could watch the thing without having to deal with people. Now I have to go and deal with people. So I go down to the street. Can't find it. And you can't find the gimbal or the phone anywhere. Looks like somebody had picked it up, brought it into the hotel. I eventually got it. I can't get this started, but when I plug it into the computer, it does recognize it. So I'm hoping somebody with more tech knowledge than me can get the video off. You might have even heard it make a noise there. Hopefully somebody who knows more than me about everything can get the video off of this phone. Because I kind of would like to see what the fall looked like. I mean, and that is the only video that's on this phone because I had been downloading all the videos to my hard drive, my external hard drive when I was there. Now, this brings me to the saddest part ever. All of the videos that are on my external hard drive are corrupted and absolutely not gettable. So every single video and every single picture that I took on my trip to Hawaii is gone. So these are pretty much the only pictures you're going to see, because they're the only ones that aren't on the stupid hard drive that got corrupted and is inaccessible. So I'm going to be sending my hard drive away. Hopefully, someone will be able to figure out how to get things off of the external hard drive. But I have to say, last night when I realized that I had lost all of the videos, I kind of got angry, kind of got sad, and as you can see, it makes me very, very, very upset. So, so there you have it. Not a whole lot of pictures, other than the ones that we've got today, are gonna be shared. But oh well. This trip was definitely full of mixed things like that, and it does suck. It really, really, really it really does suck. Mitchie Mama, how did the hard drive get effed up? Do you think Airport X-Ray can do that? I don't know. No, I don't know. It's everything that's on the hard drive is still accessible, but all of the videos that were from my phone that were on my hard drive, like they're just not playing. Like, I'm sure somebody somewhere will be able to fix it, but right now, all of the videos are inaccessible, except for one. One video is accessible, and it's the one flippin' video that I almost just deleted on purpose because it was just me being stuck in traffic, and I thought that I was going to be doing something, but it was basically... I ended up being stuck in traffic, and so there's like a 15-minute long video of me stuck in traffic, and that's the one video that I actually can get to play. All the other ones will not play. So, so I just had to laugh. It was like, really? The one video that I really didn't want to keep, that's the souvenir that I got. That's right. So, and so I don't know, Mitchie Mama, how it got effed up. I think it's something to do with the way I backed stuff up. But I don't understand why that happened, because before I left, I backed things up to see if it would work, and everything did work. And so then suddenly it didn't work. So yeah. Yeah, so there. But one thing that did work, let's see here. Where am I gonna do things? Let's see, what have I done? Oh, here we go. Okay, so, yeah, Hamajang Video Club, no can. That is exactly it. And Shock says, if you can get the phone recognized as a drive, you can get the files off of it. Well, no. I can't. I mean, somebody might. And so there's two issues. So this phone, I actually have vague hope to get the video that fell from the parking garage off of this phone. I actually have hope that might be able to happen. It's the videos that I so diligently every day emptied my phone into this silly external hard drive, those videos are just not happening, and it super bums me. It bums me out. And so let's see here. Marmac Molly, welcome to Andy's world of techie kind stuffs. You got it. Now, one thing that I have to say about the gimbal is it actually still works. The only reason why I can't use it is because, let's see if you can see. So like this clamp, has the prongs to hold the phone, Whereas this clamp, the prongs got chipped off. So I can't, so it doesn't, there's no clamps basically. So, but otherwise, like, I can turn it on and still have it manipulate and do everything. Gimbal, dude, gimbal. I'm so impressed with gimbal. I'm so impressed with the gimbal that I went last night and bought a whole new gimbal. So it's in the mail. I'm gonna be getting a gimbal again, because gimbals are awesome, even if you throw them off a 3rd story balcony for no real reason. Yeah. And let's see here. Shock says stick a popsicle stick in between. Yeah, but it's not gonna, the phone, like, I hear what you're saying, but the phone it wouldn't be able to hold on to the phone. The phone, if the gimbal, without the clamps to hold on to it, it would fall off. You know, it would just be precariously resting there. You know what I'm saying? And, Gino, what does the gimbal do? Good question. It's this fancy little thing. So you secure your phone in it. So it's like this phone is clamped in, and then you walk around with it, and you can basically tell the machine where to point your camera, and it can go up and down. And then also, it has an image stabilization. So for me, especially since I have a kind of a limp when I walk, I don't walk very smoothly. So if I was just to videotape holding my camera where I was walking, the image would sort of be jostly. Whereas if I walk holding it with the gimbal has magic that stabilizes that image and doesn't, I don't know how or why, but it stabilizes the unit enough that it won't be as jostly, which is really one of the reasons why I like the gimbal. The gimbal has a lot of things that it can do as well that I won't get into, but the main reason why I like the gimbal is when I walk, it doesn't make you feel like you're galloping on a horse watching the videos that I created while I walked. It's just smooths things out. It does way more than that. Way more than that. But that's what I use it for. It does way more. It's really cool. Like, I want to explore all the cool things that it does do, which is why I went and it was like, because I thought about trying to fix the clamp. I really did. But I was like, screw it. You know what? For like $75, I can just get a new one. Like, same model, same whatever. I'm just going to go spend $75 and get a new one. The shipping was free. It was on sale last night. I just said click, 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 click. And yeah, Terry, the gimbal is an anti-jostle device. There you go. Very succinct. It does more than that, but for the most part, I use it as an anti-jostler. And Rick, need one old school binder clip? Dude, I tried rubber bands. I tried binder clips. Trust me, my friend, I tried a lot of different potential options, but it just never really worked. So let's see here. Okay, so Shock is getting all technical. Image stabilization selectively crops your image down a little so it can kind of move the bits around and smooth out the feed. Okay. Huh? Okay. Yep, that's what it does. That's what it does. And yeah, the gimbal, absolutely, Rick. The gimbal can totally fly. And then even with a hard landing, I mean, you know, some of its bits got, you know, totally popped off. I mean, it, you know, these things aren't supposed to be showing, right? You know, the little joystick sort of popped off. I mean, you can still use it just fine. Yeah, all these things broke off of it, but the actual mechanics of it still flipping work. So gimbal, dude. Actually, I think gimbal might be the name of the device, not the company. The company that I got this one from was Homem, Hohem. So that's the company right there. And I don't know, Cramoline and duct tape. I don't know what cramaline is. But I mean, what I'll probably end up doing is I probably will try to end up fixing this. Just cause, but once I get the new one, like, I mean, like, I can't really break it any more than it's broken, right? That's sort of what I'm thinking. So, I will probably try to end up fixing it somehow, but I just don't think it's gonna, work. And so, and Darlene, but for the most part, was it one awesome trip or visit back, wasn't it? Yes, absolutely, it was. And I want to go again. The only thing that I don't like about I don't like flying. Wow, I learned I don't like flying. I didn't realize that I was anxious flying. I didn't used to be anxious flying. I am anxious flying now. I don't like flying. But I will be back regardless. And actually the last day, hold on, wait, what did Rick say about the dishwasher? Rick, just don't order gimbal parts from the dishwasher parts warehouse. Tell me about it, my friend. By the way, for those of you who don't know what he's talking about, I had a dishwasher issue that never got fixed because the dishwasher part warehouse kept sending me the wrong parts. I finally sent those parts back. I still haven't been refunded, and so that'll be a new thing for me to battle once I get my life back in order here on the mainland. Yeah. So, but I will tell you this: the very last day of the trip, I went to the Bishop Museum, and I ended up going through and checking out a bunch of different exhibits. But I have to say, my very favorite exhibit wasn't really an exhibit at all. I walk through as I'm looking for the bathrooms, right? And I have to go through this one little auditorium area. And in this auditorium, I noticed what looks like a totem pole. Like, what? That's Pacific Northwest motifs. What's going on there? So I went back to go look, and this is a Tlingit house post carved by an Alaskan native, and it's out of Alaskan Western red cedar. And basically, it is a post honoring the connection between the indigenous peoples of Alaska and the indigenous peoples of Hawaii, because basically these are all seafaring people, and despite what history and archaeology says is the truth, I know instinctively that the peoples of Hawaii and the peoples of the Alaskan archipelago clearly had contact with one another. Seafaring people don't look at the sea as a barrier. They look at it as the way to get around. And Hawaiian people and Alaskan natives are all seagoing people. And so to the left is the actual pole, and then to the right there I've expanded the placard that was underneath it, and of course, my being from the Pacific Northwest, you become pretty familiar with the Native American art of the area, and as you can see, anybody who is familiar with Pacific Northwest indigenous peoples and art can readily tell that this is obviously a Pacific Northwest art motif on this pole. And basically, it is, it was presented by the Alaskan folks to the Hawaiian folks as a tribute to their connections. And I'm not sure if you guys are reading the meaning of that particular carving, but here it says, at the top of the post is a figure wearing a headband with the Sea Alaska crest. The Tlingit people wore headbands with their clan crest as both adornment, and identification. The figure holds a speaking staff in his right hand with the killer whale crest on it. While holding the speaking staff, the figure commands the attention of his audience. His left arm holds 2 logs representing the spruce logs given to the Hawaiian people to construct the Hawaii Aloha voyaging canoe. Each log has STC carved on it, standing for Sea Alaska Timber Corporation. The figure has a button blanket folded over its back, and at the bottom, it's a bent wood chest that usually stores valuables, regalia, and heirlooms. The chest has killer whale design on the cover and a killer whale dorsal design on its side. The design represents the clan of the late Judson Brown, the uncle of Nathan Jackson, the Tlingit carver who created this piece. The figure on the right side of the pole represents a Tlingit Indian holding a drum with a raven design on it. He wears a headband of the Silver Salmon clan. The figure on the left side of the pole represents a Hawaiian holding a model of a double-hulled canoe. The hair seen on the left side of the figure is human hair. The hair comes from a village member who is part Hawaiian and part Alaskan, signifying the merging of the 2 cultures. So I took a picture of that. It is quite literally the best part of the Bishop Museum as far as I'm concerned. And Pacola T, good to see you coming in. Good to see you coming in there. And you are at a 50th State Fair with the grandkids. Too poop to chat. That is okay. Super bummed that I wasn't able to meet with you, Pacola T, during the visit to the islands. However, Pacola T and I did cross paths on my trip. She was going, as we discussed before, she was going to the mainland. I was coming to the islands using literally the exact same plane. And so as I was disembarking from the plane, she was there at the gate waiting, and we did a little video. I'm sure I was haggard and it was awful looking. I think Andy's got it in his position now. I don't know if anybody but Andy has seen it. But yeah, Pacola T and I did not get to spend any time together except for in a very, very brief crossing of paths, which was super awesome, even though it didn't last long enough. And anyway, so back to the thingamabobs. Yeah. Oops. Nope. That's not what I wanted to do. Sorry, I pressed the wrong button. Here we go. So speaking of Pacola T, actually, so this is perfect timing, actually. So Pacola T, Thursday, my last day, the last day of me being there, there was a rainbow that was trying to escape the sky. It was trying to come out, trying to show its beautiful wonder. And Pacola T actually posted the beginning of that rainbow on Facebook. And as it turns out, I actually saw that exact same rainbow. I saw the rainbow and I chased it because I didn't have anything. After I went to the Bishop Museum, I didn't have a whole lot that I needed to do other than go to Gulick Avenue, which I did. So I was done with Gulick Avenue and I was waiting to go to the airport, but I still had like an hour and a half, 2 hours to kill. So I was just like, what am I going to do? So I was just, driving around doing whatever. And I saw a rainbow trying to be a rainbow. So I started to chase the rainbow. And I was driving up and down random streets, literally no idea where I'm at, right? I'm literally just trying to chase the rainbow. So I go and I find this great view of the rainbow, right? So I take the picture. Well, I'm taking all sorts of pictures of the rainbow. So I got the rainbow, but check this out, dude. When I found the rainbow, I'm at this point, my car is parked and I'm like facing this is on the driver's side part of the car, right? And now on the passenger side of the car is this park. It's a natural spring that is coming up out of the ground, and it is a park has been built around this natural spring. And Photo Luke, not too many weeks ago, had actually done a video on this particular park, but he wouldn't say what the park was or where it was. I am not going to say what the park is either, because it is a sacred place. It is a special place. And I'm certainly not going to tell you where this park was, because I don't know where I was. I was chasing rainbows. So, yeah. But that's the little spring, and it's beautiful. And I spent about an hour, hour and a half there hanging out, and it was awesome. And then this is the tree cover above the spring. This is what it looked like if you looked directly above, which I thought was awesome. And Rick, I was meant to find that park. I felt like it too. I absolutely felt like it was meant to be. And oh, Michi Mama, it's in Liliha. Okay. All right, there you go. Amy's like, did I go to Savers? No, Andy and I did not go to Savers. But at this little park, I got to make one video. And so you guys, there is actually one video that survived the awfulness, because this was on my phone and I didn't bother to try to put it on my hard drive because the hard drive was already packed. So you guys are going to see the only video that has survived the trip. And here it is. Oh, why won't it work? Oh. Okay, now it didn't even work. Hold on. Let me see if I can get the video to work. It's a video of chickens. Hold on. Let's see. So that's the masterpiece that has come from Hawaii. It's chickens. That park had a couple different roosters and a couple different full-grown chickens, and then every stage of little chicken available. I didn't see like the super fluffy yellow kind, but some of those chickens, little baby chickens that were in that video, were on the verge of fluff. Like they were literally just getting real feathers with a little bit of fluff was still sticking out. Hey, OG Suma Vibe, good to see you. All right, excelente. I don't know if you saw the video that I just showed, but it was a video of chickens because I found chickens when I was on the island. Big shock, I'm sure. But I swear, every single size of baby chicken, from almost all fluff to like teenager, you know, it was just like they weren't a full grown one, but they looked like chickens. They were just like little teenage chickens. So yeah, I thought that was super cute. I really enjoyed that park, I have to say. So so Rick, you'd prefer surf videos, but chickens are okay. Rick, I'd prefer all the videos that were once on the hard drive, but chickens is all we got. Chickens is all we've got. But I have to say, now that OG Sumo Vibe's here, so check this out, you guys. OG Sumo Vibe apparently has exquisitely rare tastes. So he asked me, hey, when you're on the island, could you pick up some lihimoy? gushers. And it was like, of course I can get some Lihing Moy gushers, right? Why wouldn't I be able to get the Lihing Moy gushers, right? Oh my God, dude. So I looked everywhere. I looked flipping everywhere. Couldn't find them anywhere. Went to Kaimuki crack seed store. And the closest I could find at Kaimuki was gushers with lemon peel, right? So I grabbed the gushers with lemon peel and I say to the people behind the counter at Kaimuki, hey, do you have this with Lihing Moy? And they're like, no, we don't have any more. So it's like, all right, well, I guess I'll just get this lemon peel gusher because that's going to have to be as good as it's going to get. So I got the lemon peel gusher, right? So second to last day, something like that, I go to the swap meet and I've already bought all the things and I'm already tired and hot and sweaty because it's getting ready to rain and it's like 86 degrees and my arms are full and I'm about ready to leave, but I'm passing by this like candy nut vendor and I thought, okay, cool, maybe I can get some Mac nuts for people back home. And then I looked at the price of the Mac nuts and I was like, whoa, yeah, no, I'm going to go to Safeway and get some Mauna Loa Mac nuts for like $8 a bag, not $25 a bag. All right then, no. But then I noticed that he had candy and lo and behold, the first candy that I see, Lihing Moy Gusher. So it was as though I had been driven to just guided to that point. So of course, OG Sumo Vibe, I got you some Lihing Moy Gushers. I did. I got you some Lihing Moy Gusher. It didn't look like it was going to happen. It really didn't look like it was going to happen, but then it did. So there you go. And let's see here. Darlene, a goal for next time, no drop phone and we'll get plenty, the next time. Yes. Seriously, well, I have to say, when I was packing, I was like, packing all the tech stuff and the phones and the, whatever. And I was like, God, I really feel like I'm overpacking here. Who really needs two phones? Yeah, who needs two phones? I need two phones. So I'm really glad I overpacked because as it turns out, pretty much every single thing that I packed, I ended up using, even if I was really bummed that I had to do it. So yeah, I was very, very happy about that. And let's see here, Terry in Scotland. In 1954, Ernest Morgado, a naval intelligence officer during World War II, and Mike Asaji, a chicken farmer, founded the Pacific Poultry Company in Ewa, Hawaii. The next year, at a meeting with farmers, Morgado and Asaji first barbecued chicken in a teriyaki-like sauce. Morgado's mother's recipe. Is that the origin of huli chicken? Just out of curiosity, Terry, is that where huli comes from? And I didn't get any huli chicken, unfortunately, when I was there. I saw two places that were doing it, but I had already eaten shortly before. It's just the timing just wasn't right. I was kind of bummed because, who doesn't love chicken or who doesn't love any kind of meat cooked over a fire, right? Yum. But let's see here. Oh, and by the way, Terry in Scotland, I did notice what you were saying, which is to get a wrist strap for the gimbal. And that's a very smart plan. Unfortunately, I wasn't holding it. See, if I'd been holding it, it wouldn't have been an issue. It was just sitting. It was just standing there because the gimbal, it doesn't have it connected, but the gimbal does have a little tripod that you can put under it. And so it was just standing there, But you are correct. Lesson learned. Always tether. Always tether. Always tether to something. Your wrist, your whatever. Yeah. I learned that lesson. And nobody, as I hope I mentioned this, nobody did end up getting hurt. And quite honestly, that's all that matters. Yeah, the phone got broken. The gimbal's all bust up, even though it still kind of works. But nobody got hurt. So as much as this sucks, I'm calling it a win, right? I don't even want to think about what would have happened if somebody had gotten hit. from a 3-story fall of a phone with a gimbal, that's heavy. That's a dense piece of ouch. So yeah. And Terry in Scotland, that's where huli huli comes from. Huli means to turn in Hawaiian. I know that, actually. I learned that many years ago when I was on Kauai. My old college roommate, I was staying with her, and she was doing a outrigger canoe paddling race, and her team's boat flipped over, and it's called they hoolied, they hoolied. And so I learned the term huli in regards to the outrigger context many years ago. And so when I was finally introduced to the concept of huli huli chicken, I was like, I know what that means. That means they just keep turning it over and over again. And OG Sumo Vibe, you're saying that it's easy to make huli huli chicken. The secret is the brown sugar and Kikkoman shoyu. Well, that doesn't surprise me because Kikkoman shoyu is kind of an important ingredient in a lot of recipes. I've never made teriyaki sauce or any kind of Hawaiian barbecue sauce with brown sugar though. I always use white sugar. So maybe I'll have to try brown sugar next time. And OG, it doesn't taste the same with aloha. Oh no. No, in fact, actually, I have a Filipino friend who gave me their family's recipe for adobo, chicken adobo, and the recipe very specifically says, Kikkoman shoyu. It won't taste right unless you use Kikkoman. Now, I use yamasa normally, which is sort of a in-between point of aloha and Kikkoman. And one day I did use yamasa in that recipe, and oh my god, dude. It didn't taste the same. It didn't taste right. It didn't taste the same. Kikkoman has a very distinct flavor that when you want it in your food, you need it. Nothing else will do. And aloha doesn't. Honestly, you guys, I know these are fighting words. I don't really like aloha. It doesn't taste like soy sauce to me. It doesn't taste like shoyu to me. It just doesn't. I like Kikkoman or I like yamasa. Sorry. And Mariana, you have to head out to do some last minute procrastination homework. And I'm so glad that you enjoyed hearing about my trip. I'll catch you later on. And it is close to the bottom of the hour, so don't worry. You probably won't be missing much. And let's see here. Shock says you use pineapple juice and no sugar. Okay. That makes sense. And let's see here. And let's see here. OG Sumo Vibe. Nice. So you and I are in the same boat. You grew up on Kikkoman, so yeah, aloha is just not the same. And let's see here. You use aloha gluten-free because you can get it. That seems like a pretty good reason. Now, Shuck, I know that you are gluten-free, and you probably already know this, but in case you don't, Tamari sauce, which is, I believe, Japanese, but Tamari, it's not a brand, it's a thing, is basically soy sauce with no gluten. So if you see on your shelves some, I think even Kikkoman might have a Tamari, 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 Tamari sauce. That actually should be fine for your gluten-free needs in regards to soy sauce. So if you do see Tamari and you see gluten-free aloha, consider yourself having choices all of a sudden, because you actually do have choices. Tamari is not supposed to have doesn't have gluten in it, apparently. So I've been told. So, and let's see here. Shock to you, Kikkoman is what you see on the table at most Chinese places. Yep, that is true. And at most Japanese places, you'll see Yamasa. And Yamasa is the brand I prefer. So there you have it. And apparently Zippy's used to have Kikkoman on their tables, but now it's Aloha. Actually, it's like Aloha Gold Standard or Aloha Ultra or something. Darlene, isn't Tamari made with sesame seeds? It is. Damn it. What is the soy sauce that I'm talking about? You're right. You're right, Darlene. So ignore what I said about Tamari in regards to that. But there's something. What is it called? You're right, Darlene. Oh my God. Thank you so much for piping in. Tamari is made with sesame seeds. What is the stupid one? Gosh darn it. All right, well, that'll be something we'll have to answer on the next Chatter with Statter. What's that stupid gluten-free soy sauce that I was talking about and calling it Tamari all the time, but it's not? And let's see here. Let's see here. Marmac, in the Northwest, Yamasa shoyu is nice to support as it is produced in the Willamette Valley, Oregon, but not always the best choice depending on use. Well, different people have different opinions about it. Like I said, I prefer Yamasa. Like if I'm going to have it on my rice or whatever, I prefer Yamasa. But for the adobo, no, it's Kikkoman's all the way. And I'm going to, no, it's not Bragg's, OG Sumo Vibe. No, it's not Bragg's, that I'm talking about. It is, God dang it. Oh no, it is Tamari. Yeah, it is Tamari, actually. So then what is the, okay, so, all right, hold on. Okay, sorry about that. I was Googling stuff, so my face was all white because the screen was all white. No, it is, Tamari actually is the gluten-free stuff. And so then what is the sesame seed paste? Is it also Tamari? And really, Tamari can have wheat. I've never heard of it having wheat. All the Tamari that I've ever seen advertises itself as gluten-free. So there you have it. And I have heard that Kikkoman makes gluten-free soy sauce as well. And okay, soy, blah, blah, blah. So let's see here. Hoisin has sugar. Yes, hoisin definitely has sugar. And OG, you're saying that you get the cheapskate soy sauce with the teddy bear on it from the carryout company. I don't even know what you're talking about, dude. But that's annoying. You know, I mean, because seriously, soy sauce kind of matters. And let's see here. Funny how you can throw certain things into a recipe and change the taste. You do that with oyster sauce all the time. Yeah, oyster sauce is good. And actually, oyster sauce is good if you want to take it to sort of a sweeter, thicker level. But when you want to like just sort of oomph the level of umami, I'm telling you, dude, a splash of fish sauce is like the key to making the best thing. Like if your chicken broth kind of tastes a little like it's sort of flat, it needs something, dude, a little splash of fish sauce will absolutely oomph that flavor, and it doesn't taste fishy. So let's see here. Shock, seriously, we order a gallon free of gluten-free soy sauce. Well, yeah, I mean, in my refrigerator, you will find one of those little jugs, the little dispensers that are on the Chinese food tables at every restaurant, the little Kikkoman, whatever. But in the pantry, yeah, you got your gallon. Of course. Do people seriously just buy a tiny thing of soy sauce? Like, how is that even a thing? So let's see here. Michi Mama, Tamari is not soy, but a substitute. Yeah, I'm not sure how they make it, but I do know that it tastes so similar to soy sauce that if somebody was like, do you want Tamari or do you want Aloha shoyu, I would probably choose Tamari. And Michimama, your friend just told me he adds his fish sauce to his omelet. Swears by it. Seriously. Now, obviously, you're not going to want to do this for vegetarian people because fish sauce is actually made with fish. But it adds a saltiness, you know, but without just being salt. You know, it oomph. I mean, eggs need salt, so why not add a little bit of fish sauce? I've never tried that before, but I'm going to. Next time I make some eggs, I'm going to add just a tiny little bit of fish sauce. That sounds delicious. I have no doubt in my mind that is like I said, yeah, the fish sauce, the oyster sauce, you know, it's just kind of your little secret ingredient, you know, to make your stuff extra good. Like, I had a friend in high school. She made the best chocolate chip cookies ever. And her secret to the best chocolate chip cookies ever: 2 tablespoons of orange juice mixed in with the dough. What? 2 tablespoons of orange juice mixed in your chocolate chip cookie dough? Why would you do that? To make the best chocolate chip cookies in the world ever. That's why you'd do that. It's just a little, you know, just a little secret. And have I tried Maji seasoning? Oh, heck to the yes. Maybe yes and maybe no. I have Maji, like the chicken broth stuff, and like I have a lot of different Maji stuff, but I don't know if I've tried just Maji seasoning. But what isn't Maji? Wait, is that different than like their bouillon e-music? Now I'm confused. Let's see here. Trader Joe's soyaki sauce is your new jam. So ono. So it's like what? A teriyaki that's really soy heavy as opposed to like sweet side of teriyaki. Is that what that is? Because that sounds like I might have to try that out. And let's see here. Shock is confessing to her culinary skills. Yeah, I can fry up eggs and Spam, make tuna salad, egg salad. But really, the bigger issue is I don't do the shopping or the planning and will not ruin anything I pull out of the freezer. Well, that makes sense. If it's already in the freezer, might as well just reheat it. And so OG Sumo Vibe. You're throwing down some secrets. Let's see here. You put a Coca-Cola in your Hawaiian chili. I could see how that would work. I could totally see how that would work. And, that's what you're talking about. The liquid stuff. No, I've never tried that. I've often wondered what that was for. Is it just like, it's just a little secret stuff. I'll have to try that. I'll have to grab some of that. I'm going to write that down because I've got a grocery store order that I'm making right now to be picked up tomorrow. And Darlene, did I get a chance to eat some local type foods? Well, I'm not sure what you mean by that. I mean, I had several spam musubis, and I had a locomoco. By the way, I had a locomoco at the Highway Inn, and the Highway Inn locomoco, Pocola T says, is the best one around. Now, I don't know whether or not that's true because I only had one locomoco at the Highway Inn, but I can tell you this. The char on that burger was so perfection that it added so much flavor and so much depth. They char their burger to perfection. But the killer, dude, their gravy was so flavorful. That's why I don't like to make. I mean, making locomoco is super, super simple, except for my gravy is just flavorless as all get out. So it's never very good. You know, your locomoco is only really as good as your gravy kind of thing. And oh my God, dude, their gravy, so tasty. So I had some locomoco, I had some musubis, and then, and then I had, here, let me see if I can, I had this. Now, this isn't really a local food. This is a food that's made in Taiwan, but I'm assuming was marketed for Japanese people. But it was these potato sticks. I got them at 7-Eleven, and they were salt and seaweed. And oh my God, I want these in my life every day. They're so flippin' good. I don't know why they don't sell them here. I'm going to go looking at the Asian marts next time for these types of things specifically. But the seaweed with the potato stick, oh, so tasty. So tasty. And eMusic, gravy is the key to a good Loco Moco. Yes, and I'd be willing to bet that the Highway Inn chef probably used that Maji seasoning to make that gravy so flippin' good, because that gravy was flippin' good. Shock is saying definitely marketed to Japan. That WA sign on the left hand of the blue label is a dead giveaway. What are you talking about? WA sign? I don't know what a WA sign is. What? What's a WA sign? The WA sign on the left of the blue label? I don't know what that is, but okay. I do know that the label said it was made in Taiwan. That much I know. Oh, it looks like the backwards E. Oh, okay, that thing. Okay. All right, yeah. Yeah, when I showed that picture on my Facebook feed, I believe it was Michael Anthony Smith. He was just like, I don't know, looks like it came from Japan. And so the letters kind of look Japanese to me too, but I know that it came from Taiwan. But obviously it's for Japanese market. And yeah, Hawaiian market too. And my mouth, that was what it was made for. And let's see here. It's the subject marker. It's the backwards E in the label. Wow, you guys know so much more about Japanese languages than I do. Awesome. Thanks, guys. So my instinct, or actually not my instinct, Michael Anthony Smith's instinct was totally right, despite the fact that the label was saying Taiwan. But I knew that those weren't Chinese symbols, so I figured they were probably Japanese. And yeah, there we have it, you guys. And so, all right, it is 6 minutes past the bottom of the hour, and I will see if I can find any more pictures and or videos to scrounge up that somehow made it through. But everything I've tried so far has pretty much indicated that you've seen most of what there is to see. And yeah, there we have it. So next Chatter with Statter is going to be on Wednesday. And on Wednesday, hopefully, I will have the answer to, isn't Tamari the sesame seed stuff? What is the sesame seed stuff? So the sesame seed stuff, we're going to find out what the heck that was. And it might be Tamari as well. And then there's two kinds of Tamari, and what do you know? But I'm glad you guys are here to hang out. And I'm glad you guys are here to make me feel better about all the silly things that I did and didn't do when I was on the island. And hopefully somebody will be able to help me get the random things that I cannot access off of the things that I've got. So yeah, I want to share more with you guys. I just don't have it to share. So OG Sumo Vibe, thank you so much for the 200 biddies. And yeah, I think that that's going to wrap it up. So I want to thank Shock for keeping the slot warm with all the movies and all the streams that she did while I was away. And I have to say, it is super great to get back with the Gangi, and meeting everybody that I did get to meet when I was on the islands was like meeting old friends. So thank you, old friends, for hanging out today. I will see you on Wednesday. All right. Take care.